How does the biggest movie star on the planet get taken down by a pop singer? No, seriously. Think about it. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The man is more than an actor, he's a mountain. He's the face of blockbuster movies, a brand that guarantees success. He's the guy Hollywood calls when they need to save a franchise or launch a new one. He's basically the final boss of the movie industry. And then there's Taylor Swift, a musical force of nature, an economic hurricane in sparkly outfits. She doesn't just have fans, she has an army that can make albums go platinum in a day, sell out stadiums in minutes, and even shake the global economy. For years, these two have existed in their own separate worlds. One rules the box office, the other rules the music charts. But in October 2025, their worlds collided in a showdown that nobody saw coming.
If it's the first week of my album release and you are saying either my name or my album title, you're helping.
It was a battle between a carefully planned Hollywood invasion and a surprise musical blitzkrieg. And when the dust settled, only one was left standing. The result was so shocking, so one-sided, that it left Hollywood speechless. It's the story of how a pop star's concert film didn't just beat The Rock's passion project, it completely demolished it, leaving one of the most powerful men in entertainment looking, well, powerless. So, what really happened? How did Taylor Swift pull off the ultimate box office takedown? And what does it tell us about where real power lies in the world of entertainment today? Act 1. The unstoppable force and the immovable object. To understand the scale of this upset, you first need to understand the two people at the center of it. Let's start with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. For over a decade, he's been the definition of a movie star. His movies have made billions of dollars. Think of the Jumanji reboots, the Fast and Furious saga, Moana. He has a simple formula. Pick a big, fun movie, use his incredible charisma and charm, promote it like crazy, and watch the money roll in. He's not just an actor. He's a one-man marketing machine with nearly 400 million followers on Instagram. When The Rock has a movie coming out, you know it. The studios know it. It's an event. But in 2025, he decided to do something different, something risky. He wasn't starring in another jungle adventure or action flick. He was starring in a film called The Smashing Machine. This was a serious biographical drama about the life of MMA fighter Mark Kerr. It was dark, gritty, and emotional. The Rock was trading his signature smile for a dramatic performance that critics were already calling Oscar bait. This wasn't just another job for him. It was his passion project. It was his chance to prove to the world that he wasn't just a blockbuster king, but a serious actor. The studio planned a huge traditional rollout, commercials, talk shows, billboards, the works. Projections were solid, expecting a $20 to $25 million opening weekend, a respectable start for a serious drama. The Rock was the immovable object, a Hollywood titan making his big move. And then, out of nowhere, came the unstoppable force. Taylor Swift in 2025 was at the absolute peak of her powers. Her Eras tour wasn't just a concert series, it was a cultural and economic phenomenon that had grossed over $2 billion. Her re-recorded albums had rewritten music history. She had a direct line to hundreds of millions of fans, the Swifties, who were more than just listeners. They were a community, a movement, ready to mobilize at a moment's notice. On September 19, 2025, just 2 weeks before The Smashing Machine was set to hit theaters, Taylor did something that only she could do. She made a surprise announcement. She was dropping her 12th studio album, a soft rock-inspired record called The Life of a Showgirl. But that wasn't all. To celebrate, she was releasing an 89-minute concert film in theaters worldwide. It was called Taylor Swift, the official release party of a showgirl. It would feature live performances of every song from the new album, plus some behind-the-scenes footage and surprise guests. And here's the killer move. The film would only be in theaters for one weekend, just 3 days. This wasn't just a movie release, it was an ultimatum. It created an insane sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. If you were a fan, you had to be there. It was a global listening party, a communal experience that you couldn't get just by streaming the album at home. While The Rock had a movie you could see next week or the week after, Taylor had an event that if you missed, it was gone forever. The collision course was set. A traditional, well-planned Hollywood blockbuster versus a lightning-fast, surprise cultural event. On one side, the biggest movie star in the world. On the other, the biggest pop star in the world. The stage was set for the weekend of October 3rd, 2025, and nobody could have predicted the slaughter that was about to unfold. Act 2. The Takedown. When the weekend box office numbers started coming in, Hollywood executives must have thought there was a mistake, a glitch in the system. The numbers just didn't make sense. The Smashing Machine, The Rock's Oscar-worthy drama, was projected to make at least $20 million. Instead, it opened at just $6.2 million. It was a catastrophe, his lowest opening weekend in more than a decade. The international numbers were just as bad, bringing its total to a dismal $14 million. The movie that was supposed to be his crowning achievement as an actor had flatlined on arrival. So, where did all the moviegoers go? They went to see Taylor Swift, that's where. The official release party of A Showgirl didn't just beat The Smashing Machine, it annihilated it. Taylor's concert film opened to a staggering $45 to $50 million in North America alone. To put that in perspective, for every single dollar The Rock's movie earned, Taylor's film earned nearly $8. Her album, The Life of a Showgirl, immediately debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, selling an equivalent of 2.5 million copies. It was a total cultural takeover. But the real story of this takedown isn't just in the numbers. It's what was happening on the ground, inside the movie theaters. Theater owners are business people. Their job is to sell tickets and popcorn, and they saw a tidal wave of demand for Taylor Swift that they hadn't seen for any other movie that year.
Another halftime show contender, Taylor Swift just revealed she's coming back to theaters.
I am so proud of this film.
Her previous Eras Tour film had already shown them what was possible, grossing over $260 million. So, they made a simple business decision. They gave Taylor the best screens, the IMAX screens, the Dolby Cinema screens. All the premium formats that charge higher ticket prices were booked solid for Showgirl. Reports started coming out from major cities like New York and Los Angeles that theaters were actually canceling screenings of The Smashing Machine midweek to make more room for the overflow crowds of Swifties.
Waving phone lights, dancing in aisles, even belting out lyrics at the top of your lungs.
Imagine that. The Rock, a man whose face is usually plastered on every screen in the multiplex, was having his movie physically removed to make way for a concert film. It was the ultimate symbol of his powerlessness in this fight. Naturally, the media had a field day. The headlines were brutal and straight to the point. The Hollywood Reporter detailed how Johnson's awards campaign was now in serious trouble. The Daily Mail called it a complete sinking. But the most common phrase, the one that went viral, was that Taylor Swift had body slammed The Rock at the box office. The metaphor was perfect. The former wrestler, famous for his rock-bottom finishing move, had just been pinned to the mat by a pop star. Social media, of course, took it to another level. The powerless Rock meme was born. Fans created edits of Taylor Swift's face photoshopped onto a wrestler, punching The Rock's movie poster. Sarcastic tweets went viral, like the one that said, "I can't believe Taylor Swift blocked The Rock from his #1. She's not a girl's girl at all." It was a mix of fan celebration and pure internet chaos. The Rock's passion project was dead on arrival. Taylor Swift hadn't just won, she had changed the game, leaving everyone to wonder what would happen next. But to understand how this happened, you have to realize this wasn't just a battle between two stars. It was the final exam of a masterclass on modern celebrity power, taught by the ghosts of entertainment past. To beat the system, you have to first understand it, and Taylor Swift did her homework. Contender number 1, the mogul. First, there's the lesson of platform ownership perfected by Oprah Winfrey. Oprah started as a host, a talent working for someone else. But she quickly realized that the real power wasn't in being on screen. It was in owning the screen. She built a media empire, Harpo Studios, a magazine, a book club, eventually her own television network. She created a parallel media system where she was no longer asking for permission from the gatekeepers. She was the gatekeeper. The key lesson? Don't just be the talent. Build your own platform to escape external control. Contender 2, the digital dynasty. Next is the lesson of the attention monopoly, written by the Kardashians. They mastered the art of converting social media attention directly into physical product ownership. For decades, celebrity endorsements meant being paid to hold someone else's product. The Kardashians flipped the model. They built billion-dollar brands like Skims and Kylie Cosmetics by treating their social media followers not just as an audience, but as a direct-to-consumer marketplace. They didn't need a middleman. They turned their fame into their own factories. The key lesson? Don't just borrow someone else's brand. Convert your audience's attention into your own products. Contender 3, the tragedy. Finally, there's the tragic lesson, the warning, personified by stars like Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn was one of the most famous women on the planet, an icon whose image is still everywhere. But she owned almost none of it. She was a contract player, an asset owned by a studio. She had astronomical fame, but very little equity. After her death, her image was licensed and exploited endlessly, enriching others while she became a product she could never control. The key lesson is a harsh one. Fame without ownership is just high-paid temp work, and it leaves your legacy vulnerable. The final step. And that brings us back to Taylor Swift, because what she did to The Rock wasn't an accident. It was the culmination of mastering all 3 of these lessons. Like Oprah, she built her own platform. She doesn't need traditional media to announce an album. She speaks directly to hundreds of millions of people, making her own headlines. She produced her own concert film, bypassing the studio system entirely. Like the Kardashians, she converts attention into ownership. The release party film wasn't just a movie. It was a product, a piece of event-based merchandise that turned her fan base into a guaranteed opening weekend that no traditional movie could compete with. And most importantly, she learned the lesson of Marilyn Monroe's tragedy and decided to fight it head-on. The entire reason for her re-recording project, creating Taylor's version, was a direct response to not owning her own work. It's the single greatest act of a modern artist reclaiming their legacy. So, the question isn't whether The Rock can recover. It's what this means for everyone else. If a star as big as Dwayne Johnson can be made to look powerless, what does that mean for the rest of the industry? In this new era of entertainment, it seems there are 2 kinds of stars, those who play by Hollywood's rules and Taylor Swift. And right now, she's the one making all of them.